Hi, I'm Jaina. Thank you for joining me for this 60-minute soul power class. Today we're really going to tap into our core, fire up some core muscles, get into the IT band, hips, a little bit of everything. So we'll get started. Make sure you have enough space around you, reaching the legs up and back to send the arms nice and wide, blocks up towards the top of your mat. And we'll start actually on our backs for this morning. Take one block within reach. Lower yourself all the way down. Take the soles of your feet together, knees wide, placing one hand over the belly, one hand over the heart. Before we make our way into all of the movement that is to come, we'll just settle here first. Notice the way the chest and the belly rise and fall. Breathe into your palms, into yourself, and settle into the support beneath you. You can take a little body scan, noticing each point of connection between yourself and your mat. And as you notice each point, can you let yourself sink a little heavier into that connection? The back of the head, the backs of the shoulders, upper back, mid back, lower back. Not only noticing the areas that are connected, but the areas where you have a little bit of space. Maybe there's not a point of connection between your low back and a little bit of an arch instead. Let the backs of your upper arms heavy down. Your hips, your seat. Any part of your thighs that may be connecting. And the outer edges of your feet. Notice the sensation between your feet as they press in towards each other. And then beneath your palms, as you breathe each nourishing breath into yourself. I recently read a quote, and the gist of it is to lean in to discomfort, lean into yourself. And in our yoga practice, we lean into this connection between our breath and our bodies and our minds. Challenges, right? Things that many times off of our mats we stray away from. So over the next 60 minutes, I invite you to lean in with me to every bit of sensation, to each pose, to our boundaries within each pose, but not just leaning in, but respecting those boundaries. So just allow yourself to explore. Noticing what feels good, which things you want to lean away from, and notice what happens when instead you lean into them. Let's take one more full breath here together, breathing in, breathing out. Give yourself one more moment to enjoy this connection down to your mat and stillness. Take your hands towards your outer thighs and draw your knees in towards each other. We're going to come into a tabletop position on our backs here. So feet and knees are lifted to a 90 degree. Try not to bring your knees too close in, but let them go out right above your hips, right to that point where you notice your low back kind of wants to lift. And then seal your low back down. If you have blocks nearby, you're going to take your block to the top of your right thigh, connecting your right elbow to hold that block in place. Send your left arm up to the sky, and we're going to do a few kind of dead bugs just with one arm. Keeping your low back sealed down, even before you start to move, you might start to feel that work in the core holding the block in place. As you inhale, send your left leg long, left arm overhead. Exhale, knee in, palm up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drawing into center. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Good. Take a block away. Release your feet down for a second. I don't know about you, but I was already shaking just with that one side. Bring your knees back up to tabletop. Take the block now to your left thigh. Bring your left elbow in to hold that block in place. Right arm reaches straight up. Before we start to move, seal your low back down. Squeeze that block in place. If you don't have a block, you're just going to stay in this motion, acting like there's a block there. You'll still certainly feel that engagement. Feet are flexed. Inhale, right leg, right arm long. Exhale, draw them into that tabletop. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to center. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to center. Good. Release the block. Release your feet. And sway your knees side to side. Arms can go out to a T. And keep the feet wide. Let your knees fall all the way over to the right. Gaze to the left. For a gentle twist here. Maybe feeling this more in the hip flexor than in the spine. That's okay. A nice release if you felt yourself, engaging the hip flexors instead of your core there. Let your knees fall to the left. Gaze to the right. Breathing in. And breathing out. Bring the knees back to center. Hug the knees into the chest and rock a little side to side. A couple more poses here on our backs before we come up and really get into some movement. You're going to cross your right thigh all the way over the left. Snuggle your knees in towards each other and then reach for the outer shins or the ankles or maybe even the outer edges of the feet. Let them go wide. Relax your shoulders down. Keep that connection between the back of your head, the upper back, and your mat. So you're in a supine Gomukhasana legs. You can take any little movements here, rocking side to side. As much as you're feeling this stretch in the outer hips and that right IT band, can you also squeeze your inner thighs together? That might even intensify the stretch for you. One more breath in and out. Unwind the legs and take a happy baby pose. Finding the outer edges of the feet, deep bend in the knees. Can you keep your low back and tailbone connecting down here? Okay. Take that to the other side. Left thigh crosses on top of the right. Let those knees snuggle in towards each other. Reach for the shins, the ankles, perhaps the outer edges of the feet. Let them go wide. Drawing your elbows wide, shoulders down. Maybe some gentle rocking here. And then squeeze those inner thighs together. Notice if that changes the stretch for you, but also activate the inner thighs. We'll need that same action a little bit later. One more breath in. Full breath out. Unwind the legs. One more happy baby pose, keeping the tailbone low back down. Rocking a little side to side, maybe bending, straightening one leg and then the other. Hug the knees into the chest. Start to rock front and back along the length of your spine. See if you can catch a little bit of a hover at the top. And then rock it back. Try to find a hover. Rock. Hover. Maybe release the hands, finding a boat pose, Navasana. Cross the ankles, shift forward, making our way into a tabletop here. We'll just take a few rounds of cat-cow, dropping the belly, lift the chest and chin, breathe in. Round the spine, drop the head as you breathe out. Inhale, chest lifts, belly drops. Exhale, round the spine, drop the head. Inhale to lift the heart. Exhale to drop the head. Come back to a neutral spine here. And start to make your way back to downward facing dog. Press into each and every fingertip. Gather your outer hips in and up. You can always keep a soft bend in the knees to help lengthen the spine. Breathe in and breathe out. Stretch your right leg high with an inhale. Draw your knee to your nose, stepping all the way through between the palms. Low lunge, pull your chest forward, draw your right heel and left foot towards each other, engage the inner thighs, find a little more length through the spine from here, and then we'll find a low lunge twist. Right arm reaches up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Broaden the chest, maybe gaze towards that right hand. Inhale. Exhale, release the hand down to the inside of the foot. Start to straighten both legs as you walk your hands towards the left for a wide-legged fold. You might turn your toes in a little bit, heels out. Lift halfway with the breath in. And then fold, dropping the crown of your head down as you breathe out. Let your weight tip towards your toes, leaning into the sensation here. Opening up the backs of the legs. Reaching the crown of the head down. Try to keep your shoulders lifting away from the ears by engaging your upper back. Inhale to halfway lift. Bring your hands to your hips. Exhale all the way up to stand. Sweep your arms out and up overhead. Breathe in. Turn your whole right leg forward for an early warrior two. Inhale and exhale. One more full breath in. Release your hands down into a low lunge. Gaze forward, lift the chest. We're going to step up to a forward fold, but bring your left foot behind the right for a cross-legged forward fold. Squeeze your inner thighs, lift your chest, breathe in. Fold into it as you breathe out. You can keep a soft bend in your right knee, but try to get that left leg straight, feeling that stretch down the outside of your left leg, the IT band. In any of these forward folds, allow yourself to keep leaning your weight towards the toes, the ball of the foot. Lift halfway, breathe in. Squeeze your inner thighs as you rise all the way up to stand. Take another breath in, lift your gaze. Fold forward as you breathe out. Step your left foot all the way back, and then your right foot back, downward facing dog. High plank pose, inhale forward. With control, lower all the way down to the belly. Untuck your toes, press into the tops of your feet. Keep your elbows narrow, really squeezing into your upper back. Lift your chest. Gaze down towards the top of your mat. Keep length in the back of the neck. Breathe in. Lift your palms as you breathe out. Squeeze the upper back. See if you can maintain the same height as when your palms were down. One more inhale. Exhale, release it down. Press back to a child's pose. Knees can be wide or narrow. Stretch your right arm up to the sky, and then thread it underneath the left shoulder, coming to rest on your right ear. Instead of just sinking into this here, press into the back of your right hand, your arm and shoulder, and turn your chest towards the left. If you'd like, that left hand can wrap around to your right hip for a half bind, turning the chest, feeling that stretch in your shoulder, breathing in, breathing out. If you took the half bind, you can unwind it. Press into your left palm, right arm sweeps up and back out in front of you. Inhale back to tabletop. Walk your palms forward a few inches, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Left leg stretches high, breathe in. Knee to nose, stepping all the way forward, low lunge. Fire up those inner thighs by drawing your left heel and right foot towards each other. Pull your chest forward, and we're going to come into that low lunge twist. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, and maybe you turn your gaze towards the left hand. Continue to find length in your spine even as you twist here. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. Release your hand down to the inside of your foot. Straighten both legs. Parallel your feet. Wide-legged fold. Prasarita Padottanasana. Lift halfway. Breathe in. And then shift your weight towards your toes as you fold forward. Maybe your hands come back in line with your heels. And if you press into your palms, you can engage your shoulders back into your back, really integrating the two together. Nod the head yes, shake the head no. Lengthen your spine halfway, breathe in. Hands to your hips, press through those heels to rise up. Circle the arms out and up. Turn that whole left leg forward. Warrior two. A few breaths here just to settle in. Start to feel that engagement through the legs. Breathe in. Release your hands down. Low lunge. Step your right foot up behind the left for a cross-legged forward fold. That left knee can stay bent, but really work to press through the right foot, getting as straight as you can in the right foot. Lift halfway, breathe in. Fold into those crossed legs as you breathe out. Keep shifting your weight towards the toes, leaning slightly into that discomfort, that stretch, the sensation here. Lift halfway, breathe in. Engage your inner thighs, magnetize them towards each other, rise all the way up to stand. Take a full breath in, gaze up. Fold right back down as you breathe out. Inhale, gaze forward, step your right foot back towards the right, left foot back for downward dog. Slow inhale, ripple forward to plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Untuck your toes, heavy into your feet and your pelvis, elbows draw in, lift the chest, low cobra. Hover your hands, keep squeezing the upper back. Zip your inner thighs together, and maybe this time your feet lift as well. One more full breath in. Release everything down, pressing back to that child's pose. Sweep your left arm to the sky and thread it all the way under the right shoulder, letting your head turn to the side so you're resting on that left ear. Activate through this pose by pressing your left arm down into your mat and turning your chest to the right. If you'd like, that right arm can sweep up and back to the left hip for a half bind, lifting the chest even more, breathing into that shoulder stretch. Inhale and exhale. If you took the half bind, unwind. Reach that left arm up to the sky and right back out in front of you. Shift forward into tabletop, walking your hands slightly in front of the shoulders, downward facing dog. One step at a time. Walk your feet up to meet your palms. You can keep a slight space between the heels and a bend in the knees as you fold into yourself, letting the head and neck go. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Rise all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Hands to prayer at your heart. Tadasana. We'll start to make our way through some sun salutations. Sweep the arms out and up. Breathe in. Dive forward as you breathe out. Inhale, gaze forward, step your right foot back. Exhale to downward facing dog. High plank pose with an inhale. If you're ready, lower halfway. Exhale. Heart lifts, either upward dog or low cobra. Downward facing dog. Stretch your right leg high, breathe in. Low lunge, step it forward. Reach your right arm to the sky for a low lunge twist. And then as you release that right hand down, step your left foot up and fold. Rise tall, breathe in, hands to prayer overhead. Dive down, letting everything go. Gaze forward, left foot back. Downward dog, exhale the hips high. Plank pose with an inhale, lower halfway or all the way with your exhale. Heart lifts, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. Left leg rises with an inhale, low lunge, exhale. Left arm reaches up to the sky, squeeze the upper back. As you release the left hand down, right foot steps up, heavy your head. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold. Right foot steps back with the breath in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Inhale for plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right leg reaches up, breathe in. Step it forward, low lunge with the breath out. Inhale, opening the chest. Release the twist, step up and exhale. Full breath in to rise up. Full breath out to surrender down. Gaze forward, left foot steps back, inhale. Downward facing dog with your exhale. High plank pose, breathe in. Chaturanga with your breath out. Upward dog. Downward dog. Stretch your left leg high, breathe in. Low lunge, stepping forward. Find that twist with an inhale to open the chest. Exhale, releases the hand, right foot steps up. Rise all the way up, breathe in. Fold right back down with your breath out. Inhale your right foot back. Exhale, downward dog. Plank pose, breathe in. Exhale to lower. Heart lifts, inhale. Downward facing dog. Stay here and breathe. Can you firmly press down through each and every fingertip, so much so that maybe you feel the center of your palms start to lift. Take that energy from the fingertips through the arms, the entire length of the spine, up and back through the hips. Step your feet together and slightly forward. Gaze between the palms, lift the heels, inhale. Hop or step with your exhale to the top of the mat. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale and fold. Rise up, tall and strong. Dive right back down. Left foot steps back, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Inhale for plank. Exhale to lower. Heart lifts, breathe in. Downward dog as you breathe out. 3 breaths here, smoothing out each inhale and exhale. Feeling the energy from the fingertips up and back through the outer hips, but letting the head relax. Step your feet together and slightly forward. Lift the heels, gaze forward, bending into the knees, hop or step with your exhale. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale and fold. Rise all the way up. Inhale. Chair pose as you exhale. Energize out through the fingertips. Tuck your tailbone, long spine. Look down at your toes. Make sure you can see all 10 toes, that your shins and hips are shifting back enough to allow that. And then lift those toes. Give them a little wiggle. Pretend you're not still holding a chair pose. And slowly release them down. One more inhale. Fold forward with your exhale. Gaze forward, lift halfway. Either hop or step back through a flow, landing with soft elbows right into chaturanga if you choose to hop. Downward facing dog is where we'll meet. Take one more full breath in and full breath out. Stretch your right leg high, breathe in. Step your foot forward between the palms. Warrior 2, seal the outer edge of that back foot down and lift yourself up. Tall chest, settle low into the legs. Flip your front palm, peaceful warrior, and take it right into a side angle pose, forearm to thigh, stretching that left arm up and overhead. As you inhale, come back into a peaceful triangle, reach up and back, straighten that front leg, and then extend forward, long, 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 releasing your hand to your shin, the floor, or a block. Pull the right side of your chest forward, squeeze your shoulder blades, and lift that left arm up to the sky. Stay with your breath here. Find that engagement through your inner thighs, right? So pressing into your feet like they're drawing in and up towards each other. Stretch your left arm long overhead. Release your hands down, low lunge, downward facing dog. These flows are always optional, but if you'd like, inhale for plank. Exhale to lower. Lift your heart, breathe in. Downward dog, breathe out. Left leg rises with an inhale. Step it forward, low lunge. Seal your right foot down, and then lift yourself up, warrior 2. Take a breath to settle here. Shoulders relax down away from the ears. Flip your front palm, peaceful warrior. Forearm to thigh, side angle pose. Keep bending deeper into that left knee. Let your hips shift forward and down. Coming right back up into a peaceful triangle. That left leg straightens as you tip up and back. Inhale. Exhale, arms to a T. Shift your hips back. Get as long as you can on the way down. You'll rest your hand down on your shin block at that point where your spine feels the longest. Pull the left side of your chest forward. Turn yourself up towards that right palm. Engage your upper back. And then engage through the legs. Press into both feet. Can you draw your inner thighs in and up towards each other? Keep that support in the legs as that right arm stretches overhead. Release your hands down, low lunge, downward facing dog. High plank pose with an inhale, chaturanga with your exhale. Lift your heart, breathe in. Downward dog, breathe out. We'll build on from there. Stretch your right leg high with an inhale. Knee to nose, round the spine as you exhale. Shoot it up and back. three-legged dog, breathe in. Knee to nose, round the spine, breathe out. One more time, three-legged dog. Knee to nose, hold, step it forward. Warrior two, seal that back foot down. Inhale to rise, exhale to settle. Flip your front palm, peaceful warrior. Side angle pose, forearm to thigh or hand to the inside of the foot. Blocks are really helpful here underneath that right palm. We're going to move between those two poses a few times. Inhale, up and back, peaceful warrior. Maybe kind of taking it unsupported. I like to think of this as a twisty tie arm. And then take it forward to that side angle pose. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, side angle pose. Inhale, up and back. One more time to side angle, staying low in that front knee. Peaceful triangle. Straighten that front leg. Pause here, breathe in. Breathe out. Bring your arms to a T. Shift your hips back. Go long, long, long. Trikonasana. Keep pulling the right side of your chest forward, engaging your upper back, broad chest and arms, energizing through the legs as much as you can. You'll need that support through the feet as you stretch that left arm overhead, and then bring the right arm to meet it. Breathe in. Rise all the way up with your breath out. Straighten both legs. Move your blocks out of the way if they're in the way. Parallel your feet and open your arms to a T. We're going to eagle wrap, right arm underneath the left. If you can find that double hook of the palms, awesome. Maybe backs of the hands are together, or you can give yourself a little hug here. Turn your heels in, toes out, goddess pose with the legs. Sink nice and low, keep the chest lifted. We'll take a few sort of cat-cows here in goddess pose with our eagle arms. Lift the chest, lift the fingertips, breathe in. Round into center as you breathe out. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round into center. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale and round. As you come up this time, release the arms, stretch the legs. Turn your right toes back to the front, warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, low lunge. Let's take a twist in this low lunge, but find some length in your spine first. Then reach that right arm up to the sky. Take a full breath in. Release the hand down. Ground into your palms firmly, pressing each and every fingertip down. Sweep that right leg up and back for a three-legged dog. Option for a three-legged flow here, shifting forward to plank pose. Lower halfway, and then release that foot down, upward facing dog. Exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. And left leg lifts high, breathe in. Knee to nose, round the spine, breathe out. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. One more time, sweep it up. Exhale, and step it forward. Warrior two, seal that back foot down and cartwheel the arms up and open. Flip your left palm, peaceful warrior. Bring your left hand down or forearm to thigh. Side angle pose. Check in with this side. You know where we're going, so maybe decide which variations you'd like to take. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Maybe that unsupported, right arm sweeps forward, twisty tie arms. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, up and back. One more time into that twisty tie side angle. Into peaceful triangle. Enjoy that straight left leg for a moment as you start to hinge forward, out from the hip. Right, bringing your hand down to whatever point your spine feels the longest. Rotate your left ribs beneath you and pull them forward towards the top of your mat. Ground down through your feet. Right arm stretches overhead. Left arm meets it. Take a full breath in. Exhale up. Straighten both legs, parallel feet. I'll turn around to face you. Left arm underneath the right, eagle wrap those arms. Either double wrap, backs of the hands together, whatever works for you here. Once you've got the arms, goddess legs. Heels in, toes out. Bend into the knees, wrapping your outer thighs out and back, dropping your tailbone straight down. We'll take those little cat-cows here, lifting the fingertips, lift the chest, breathe in. Round into yourself as you breathe out, maybe sinking lower in the legs. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, round inward. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round in. Inhale, rise up, release the arms, parallel your feet. Warrior 2, sink it low. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. Cartwheel your hands down. You're in that low lunge with your left foot forward. Lengthen the spine, breathe in. Reach your left arm up, twisting as you breathe out. Keep lengthening, inhale. Release your hand down as you exhale. Ground into your palms. Sweep that left leg up and back. Option for a 3-legged flow. Inhale forward. Exhale to lower. Both feet down, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Let's take a full breath in together. And a full breath out. On your next inhale, sweep that right leg high. Knee to nose, exhale. Just one more time here. Inhale it high. Knee to nose, stepping forward. Warrior 2, reach the arms up and wide. Peaceful warrior, breathe in. Side angle pose. This time, allow yourself to really settle in here. Hand to the inside of the foot, to the floor, or to a block if you have one available. Press so much through the outer edge of that left foot. Hug your tailbone beneath you towards that left heel that you can open and spiral your chest. On your next breath in, peaceful triangle. Straighten that front leg, reach it up and back. Arms to a T, hinge at the waist. Triangle pose. Stretch that top arm overhead. Bring your right arm to meet it. Inhale. Exhale to stand. Good. Keep your legs just as they are. Open your arms wide. Eagle wrap your right arm underneath the left. Keep your chest turning to the side. And then bend into that right knee for a warrior two. Now you can start to turn your chest forward. Breathe in. And breathe out. Keep turning your chest forward until you come to the ball of that left foot. You're in a high lunge with eagle arms. Shift your weight into your right foot. Warrior three. Keep a soft bend in your right knee. Gaze forward. Chest is lifted. Bring your left knee into your chest. Eagle wrap that left leg on top of the right. So take a deep bend in your right knee. Squeeze the inner thighs, single or double wrap. Maybe even tap those left toes down for a little kickstand. You can stay here with your chest upright, or start to round the spine, elbows towards the knees. Hollow out the belly. Keep hugging your left hip back in space. Squeeze the inner thighs. As you come back up to stand, unravel the arms, left knee into the chest. Float it back to a low lunge. Release your hands down. Low lunge twist, right arm up to the sky. Take this into a side plank pose. Shift your weight to the outer edge of your left foot. Bring your right foot on top of the left, or stagger. Always can tap that left knee down. Hook your tailbone in. Reach up through that right arm. Lift the left hip. Whoop. Maybe you lose your balance a little bit. If you can, bring that right foot to a hover. Bend the knee, step it behind you. Wild thing. Hug your tailbone in. Lift the heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend both knees. Come back to downward facing dog. Walk your toes back an inch and a little bit wider. We're coming right into upward dog. Come up and over the toes. Lift the thighs, press into the palms. Full breath in. Lift the hips, right up and back. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts high, breathe in. Knee to nose, round the spine. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it forward. Warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Inhale up and back. Side angle pose, Parsvottanasana. Maybe that block to the inside of your left foot. Right arm stretches overhead. Press so much into the outer edge of that back foot that it provides the length and support to continue rotating your heart up to the sky. Breathe in here, leaning into your breath, leaning into the sensation. On your next inhale, peaceful triangle. Press into that left foot as you tip up and back. Arms to a T, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Feel the support of your back body. Squeeze those inner thighs in and up. Reach that right arm long overhead. Breathe in. Bring your left hand to meet it. Exhale all the way up. Keep your feet angled just as they are. Bring your arms to a T. Cross your left arm underneath the right. Eagle wrap your arms. Your chest is still facing towards the side. Bend into your knees. Warrior two in the legs. Start to bring your gaze forward. Start to turn your upper body slowly, slowly with control until you pop up onto the ball of your right foot. Shifting into a warrior 3, let your weight come into that left foot. You can always keep that soft bend in your left knee. Flex the right foot, energize through the right heel. Keep pulling your fingertips and your chest forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Coming up to stand, right knee into the chest. Eagle pose. Bend deep into that left knee and then cross over. Single or double wrap. Maybe a little kickstand here with your right toes tapping down. The deeper you bend into your knees, the more you can squeeze those inner thighs together. You can stay right here or start to invite in that rounding, folding into center, hollowing out the belly. As you come back up to stand, unravel the arms, lift your left knee up and send it back, low lunge. Lengthen the spine, breathe in. Lift your left arm up for a twist. Coming into a side plank pose, come to the outer edge of your right foot. Bring your left foot to meet it. You can always stagger or take that right knee down. Wherever you are, hug your tailbone in, lift that right hip up, and maybe that left foot hovers. Bend your left knee, step it behind you. Wild things, lift the heart and the hips. Bend into both knees, coming back to downward facing dog. Step your feet back an inch and a little bit wide. Rolling up and over the toes right into upward facing dog. Hug your upper back in. From the center of your belly, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Tap your knees down for a child's pose. Beautiful work. Allow yourself to settle for a moment. I've been asking you all class to lean into the challenges, into the breath work. Can you also lean into the rest? Take another full breath in, full breath out. Come back through tabletop. Walk your hands forward an inch or two. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Step your feet together and slightly forward. Lift the heels, gaze forward, breathe in. As you exhale, hop or step to the top of the mat. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale and fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Last little bit of standing work. Bring your arms to cactus, eagle wrap right arm underneath the left. Sink a little deeper into your hips, lift the chest, breathe in, and take a twist to your left, bringing your eagle arms with you. You can stay here or start to unravel the arms, maybe reaching those right fingertips down. Pull your chest forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more full breath in. Full breath out. Unwind the arms all the way up to stand. Hands to prayer at your heart. Release the fingertips down. Maybe sweep the floor as you come back to chair pose. Open your arms. And then take the left elbow underneath the right. Lift the arms, lift the chest, breathe in. Take that twist over to the right as you breathe out. Sink your hips. Either stay here or unravel the arms, deepening that twist. 3 breaths in and out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Unravel the arms. Come back to stand. Hands to prayer at your heart. Tadasana. Let your eyes drift closed. Ground firmly here. Notice the beat of your heart, the quality of your breath, the quality of your thoughts. Sweep your arms out and up. One last standing forward fold. Let it go. Gaze forward as you inhale. Option for one last flow. You can hop or step your way back. Lifting your heart. Downward facing dog. Tap your knees down. Walk your knees forward, cross at the ankles, and sit back over your shins. Extend the legs out long in front of you. Sweep the arms up and overhead. And take a simple forward fold here. Did lots of activation through the hamstrings, especially through all those triangle poses. So maybe allow this one to be a little more restful. Slowly roll yourself back up. Bend into the knees. I really can't help it. One more boat pose. Let your weight shift back until you find that place of balance. Chest is lifted. Maybe those arms extend forward. Maybe the legs reach forward. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Breathe in. Lower 1/3 of the way down as you breathe out. Breathe in. Lower another third. Breathe in. And gently lower all the way down. You made it onto your backs. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. Circle the knees away from each other and back together. Come back to center. Cross your right thigh over the left. Shift your hips slightly to the right. Open your arms to a T and let this whole shape fall all the way over to the left. You can turn your gaze to the right. Breathe in. Breathe out. Letting everything soften and release. What happens when you lean into these moments of surrender? These moments of support. These little gifts to yourself throughout your practice and throughout your day. On your next inhale, come back to center. Uncross the knees, even out your hips to center. Take a few more circles with the knees in opposite directions. And go ahead and cross your left knee over the right. Open your arms to a T. Shift your hips slightly to the left. Let this whole shape fall to the right. And let the weight of your legs do the work for you so that you can release anything that you might still be holding on to. Tune into the sound of your breath as you begin to let go. Coming back to center with your next inhale. Unravel the legs. Give yourself a tight squeeze. Lift your shoulders, head, and neck all into center. Clench your jaw. Close your eyes tightly. And then begin to release all of that into your Shavasana. Softening the brows, the muscles in the cheeks, and the jaw. Releasing the shoulders, mid-back, lower back, and hips. Letting go of any tension in the arms, the wrists, the palms, and each finger. Heaving through the thighs, relaxing the backs of the knees, the calves, ankles, and the feet. Take a full breath in and let go. Arriving in this moment of complete surrender. I invite you to stay here for several minutes longer if you're able to. Otherwise, you'll gently return to a state of awareness. inviting gentle movements back to the body. Bending your knees to ground the feet down. And surrender all the way to a comfortable side. Taking your time to return to a comfortable seated pose. When you arrive there, bring your hands to prayer at your heart. Thank yourself for leaning in to everything that you did throughout this class. The effort, the breath, your own strength, every challenge along the way, and especially the rest. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice. The light in me bows to that same divine light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope to see you soon.